Hey guys, it's TSS here and welcome to Hot or Not. This is the show where we review a weapon and ultimately decide whether or not it is hot or not. This week, as promised, we are covering the Ace 23 assault rifle. This gun is widely considered to be the best gun in the game, but like I said last week, I personally prefer the M416, and I'm going to go through why during the rest of the video. Much like the M416, this gun does 25 damage up until 8 meters, and this drops all the way down to 18 damage at 55 meters. The gun has a fairly mediocre fire rate of 770 rounds per minute. This beats the M416 by 20 rounds per minute. Now personally, I don't think that a difference of 20 rounds per minute is actually going to do you much good. But if you are being picky, then this obviously is an advantage to the Ace 23. The weapon has a higher muzzle velocity than the M416, shooting at 620 meters per second rather than 600. But then again, this is also not a very big difference, and I don't think that will affect your gameplay much at all. So as you can see, the things that this gun does better than the M416, it doesn't do better by a huge amount. But with the M416 on the other hand, the things it does better, it does a lot better. The Ace 23 reloads at 2.1 seconds with a bullet in the chamber, and a horribly slow 3.1 seconds reload when you completely wasted your magazine. I find that a longer reload time can often end up getting you killed, and I often end up dying whilst reloading with this weapon. The Ace 23's recoil is extremely erratic, and it doesn't seem to follow a single path like the M416 does. Now don't get me wrong, it is still very easy to control this weapon, and as you literally just saw there, it's still easy to get kills at long range. But I still do find that it's a lot easier to get long range kills when using the M416. So that is why I prefer the M416. But anyway, let's get back onto the Ace 23. The gun has a magazine size of 31, which is average for all of the assault rifles, and a bullet drop of 15 meters per second squared, which is also very average. The weapon has a seemingly average bullet spread, but I still like to put a heavy barrel on there anyway. And talking of which, now let's get on to the attachments that I like to use with this weapon. So, here is the Ace 23. I'm going to go to my attachments, and for my optics slot, I've gone for the Coyote red dot sight. I've chosen this sight because it doesn't have much metal around the edges, meaning that I can see my opponents a lot easier. Other than, like so for example, if I was using the HD 33 sight, it's obviously a lot harder to see them than using the Coyote. One problem with the Coyote is that when you aim into the sun, it's quite hard to see the red dot sight. So the Cobra red dot sight can actually be better in some situations like that. I don't like using the longer range scopes, such as the JGM4, whatever it's called. You know, that sort of thing. Mainly because I find it amplifies recoil too much. So I reckon that the Coyote is what you probably want to use. The accessory slot, I've gone for the laser sight because I like to shoot. I like to shoot from the hip a lot when using this weapon, mainly because it seems to have decently good hip fire accuracy. I haven't really checked that stat though, but obviously I think this kind of matters all down to personal opinion. This one, because it doesn't really seem to make much of a difference. But for your barrel attachment, I have gone for the heavy barrel. This is because even though I said that it has quite hard to manage recoil, it doesn't really, but it's worse than the M416. I've gone for the heavy barrel because it makes your spread a lot tighter, and the upwards recoil is quite easy to manage on this gun. So by putting on the heavy barrel, you aren't at much of a disadvantage. You can use a suppressor or anything, or something like that, but it doesn't really matter. For your underbarrel, I've gone for a potato grip, mainly because it sounds cool. A lot cooler than the stubby grip anyway. But the potato grip, it means that it reduces the spread of fire by 15%, which is a really good statistic. And I mean, you could use the angle grip if you want to, but I personally prefer the potato grip. Obviously your paint doesn't matter at all. And for my secondary, I like to go for the M9. I think it's quite reliable. I haven't really unlocked any other ones yet because I don't use secondaries all too much. Obviously you need the defibrillators and the medic bag, otherwise you're hardly a medic. And I prefer the M40 Mini, to be honest. Don't know why I had the normal grenades on there. And the machete kind of looks cool, but it really makes no difference. And I like the defensive perk because you get the armor bonus. This is so useful. It means that you're not going to get killed by snipers from short ranges. It is often kind of considered to be a bit of a dick move to use this, but I don't think it matters too much. You want to be the best you can. Or camouflage, doesn't matter. So yeah, that was the setup. So now let's get back onto the review. Overall, I find this gun is very reliable, versatile and easy to use. The combination of all of this gun's mediocre stats makes this gun good in every single situation, and a lot of fun to use. The fact that you unlock the Coyote sight at only 10 kills makes levelling up this gun easy and 100% not even a grind. Unfortunately, for the reasons I stated earlier, this gun is not the best gun in the game, but rather second best. Obviously, this all comes down to personal opinion and it depends entirely on what you want out of a gun. But all in all, I think I will rate this gun an 8 out of 10, as it's definitely worse than the M416, but good nonetheless. And this means that this gun is hot. Please leave in the comment section down below what gun you'd like to see next time, and please also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, I think I may have to start doing this series once every other week, as to be able to get a good feel for this weapon, I've had to use it every single day of the week, playing game modes like TDM, that I obviously, and I've stated many times, don't enjoy. I feel that if I do this every single week, I'll get bored of the game extremely quickly and my content will take a hit as a result of this. So anyway, you can look forward to the next episode in the series in a fortnight, but I've been TSS, and for now, goodbye.
I got eyes on a hostile